I've often said over the years that you couldn't run a taco stand with Bitcoin, much less a global financial system. And it's always been true, and it's truer today than it was the first time I said it. Now, we've been on this platform, I want to say about 3 years, and you can go back, and I've said it many times over the years. And for the first time, I hear somebody actually articulating it in real world terms, much like I have, but applying real companies to it. The transactions are too slow. I mean, you can check it out yourself. Do not take my word for it. I've said that many times also. You can do it. Go run a transaction, whatever's comfortable for you. A $20 transaction on Bitcoin, $20 transaction on Ethereum if you'd like to try them out, a $20 transaction over on XRP. And I got to tell you, you're going to completely dislike the Bitcoin experience. It's abhorrent. It's awful. It's expensive. It's slow. No, you cannot do that. You're going to go buy a taco and you're going to wait 30 minutes to clear the payment before they can give you your food, right? That's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. And it's expensive. A $10 taco might end up costing you $30 because the transaction is going to be a $20 charge. And that's what happens at times. Ethereum, same thing, not quite as bad, but it still takes a long time. I think 14 to 15 minutes on average. And there's a fee, 3, 4, 5, maybe $6 fee, sometimes more. I've heard more in some cases, depending on how congested the traffic is in there also. But with XRP, your transaction happens in 3 to 5 seconds. The charge is a fraction of a penny. It's secure. It's instant settlement. That makes sense. I could run my taco stand that way. But you cannot run, you can't run it on Bitcoin. And like I said earlier, if you're going to talk about critical infrastructure for the global financial system, it's going to be XRP. So let's take a look at this is in from Zaif. He says, could XRP become the preferred crypto for payments? I think it would be for large volumes of payments. So here's talks with major retailers like Chipotle, Starbucks, and Shake Shack Enterprise merchants ready since 2018. So mass adoption is closer than ever, and it is, guys. You guys can see it. You can see the writing on the wall. We've got the Genius Act that's for stable coins. We have the Clarity Act on, next batter up, I guess, so to speak. So after that, what's next? There's going to be more legislation, I believe. You're going to need it to build out the system, but we've got crypto ETFs coming in mass. I think there's like 92 pending approval. I think one already is going live this week for XRP. XRP has the most pending, I think about 20 pending approval. The first 7 or 8 of them, I think, coming in October. So we'll see. We'll see if they all get approved, if some get approved. But as those get approved, that means a ton of institutional money is going to flow into the crypto space. So that's one of the things that's going to make the bull run really juicy this time around. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. The Fed rate cuts are going to be really good. ISO 20022 going mandatory in October. All good news, all solid. Programmability goes live on the XRP ledger in January. Another catalyst, programmability is smart contracts. You know, the thing that makes Ethereum supposedly so special, we're going to have it over here, but it's going to be faster, cheaper, more reliable on a much better network. So here we come. Let's check out what Paul Barron has to say in this interview. I think you're going to find it interesting. It's going to be a little bit eye-opening there. Basically reinforcing a lot of the things that I've said over the years. But let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and bookmark. We'll see you guys on the next one. Till next time, adios, amigos.
Then you have the payment structure. Then you have the XRP crowd, which also, first of all, just the size of that audience in general. I'm looking at it when we see a potential here for a major retailer like a Chipotle, a Starbucks, anyone really. I mean, Shake Shack kind of went out on the limb with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I tested it at a Shake Shack, didn't work well. Or not Shake Shack, Steak and Shake, didn't work well. We're going to get them on the show to talk about it because the process was kind of clunky. So I asked them straight up, was this just a PR stunt, you know? And
interesting. Yeah.
And my point is this, is if I can't solve my problem of payment with crypto, do you feel like retailers are going to try to start targeting ways to get to a certain audience just because it's a large audience that would bring them into the stores?
I think it's a great question. I think they will start to target more. Now, remember though, retailers have been in the dark for the last 8 years. They really have been waiting for some regulation. So we've worked closely with some of our retailers, some of our merchants we've been talking to since 2018. And I'm talking about enterprise grade merchants. And that's instructive. Again, much like we pick point of sale in brick and mortar stores, much like we stayed in the US, it's very similar to that. Working with merchants and their compliance departments, we want to talk to those enterprise-sized merchants. Of all the enterprise merchants today that accept digital assets, they're all doing it through Flex because we've stuck with, well, except for one notable exception, which is Tesla. But so we're talking about a couple dozen enterprise-grade merchants who've done it through Flex, and the reason is we've walked them step by step by step along this regulatory pathway to a point where they now have some confidence thanks to GS, and specifically thanks to the promise of clarity coming. So they'll know the assets, for example, being spent on their network aren't securities, or they'll know which ones aren't securities. So they can have that confidence. They also have that authority now, or trust, from the legislation that's coming, and that's why merchants are getting on board today.
Matters.
So I do believe you're right. I do believe they will start targeting the sector more, and I know for a fact this technology is here to stay for them. They've been working on it for years. They're ready.
Absolutely.
They want to build it. They know what the future holds. The future holds digital asset payments. They know, and I think this is to a merchant, whether they want to say it publicly or not. Credit cards and debit cards have a lifespan. That lifespan is coming to a point where it's ending. Maybe not immediately, maybe not tomorrow, but it is coming.